Good morning.
Or prayers.
Good morning. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. To the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. For immeasurables, may all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from judgment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Mandala offering. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite ocean of realms, I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception. Please hold with compassion all beings they contain. My body enjoyments, whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and the time to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them all, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping, completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and attributes of arising, cessation, abiding, coming, going, and affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Dewa Da Kini Ratna Mandala Kriti So um, Prayer to Lord Jigten Sumgan, unequal refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajrajara, without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father, Jigten Sumgan. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I realize the unelaborate nature of mind. Request for teachings. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the 2 vehicles and their combinations according to disposition and likewise mental capacities of sentient beings.
Hello, everybody. First, please take a breathe in, inhale fully with all the blessings of the Buddha, and cleanse all our confusions. And exhale. Once more, please inhale fully all the bodhicitta of the Buddha's teaching and heal our mind, expand our mind as a space, and exhale. Once more, please inhale fully all the wisdoms of the Buddha. So all the rest subtle obscurations are fully purified, and exhale, breathe out. And please rest the mind and open the mind as the space. The space is totally free. It is all pervasive. It pervades to all the phenomena. All the space is totally free, is unconfined vastness. Like that, our mind, please meditate, like that nature. Then with this mind, now we are studying the jewel ornament of liberation. We just have touched from the 6th chapter, Buddha nature, precious human life, and the importance of the spiritual master as a contributory cause, and spiritual master's instruction, the methods. And what there are 4 instructions or teachings. From these 4, we're touching the last one, the antidote, not knowing how to free from samsara and to achieve the complete enlightenment, which means total freedom. So now that it has, as you know, there are 12 topics we went through step by step, from the foundation, the definition of bodhicitta, to the training. On the training, there are 2 types of training. The aspiration bodhicitta's training and the action bodhicitta's training. So through that, now we see, first of all, we get complete opportunity how to cultivate bodhicitta. The total method how to achieve the complete freedom, the enlightenment. In other words, all our mental obscurations, the adventitious defilements, to how to purify them. And from within that, then manifesting the bodhicitta. So now bodhicitta is, please just understand, it's like a passport, you know. When you have a passport, then you can go to other country, crossing the border, you know, from one border to another border. So bodhicitta is like the passport to cross the border of the samsara towards the enlightenment. See, it's very important to have the passport. It requires many conditions, you see. It's not enough one thing. You need many conditions to be citizen of that country. Then finally you get the passport. With that passport, then you can go live and enter to other. So likewise, bodhicitta is like the passport to cross the samsara, enter into the country of the enlightenment, the Buddhahood. So please see that. So as you see, bodhicitta is not something, a simple thing. It is a comprehensive method. It's the consummate method to free from samsara, to achieve complete enlightenment, not partial enlightenment. No. Whereas, like the emptiness, we put so much emphasis on the emptiness. Yes, it is very important, but without bodhicitta, we cannot become Buddha, no matter how much you pay attention about the emptiness. If we pay attention emptiness with bodhicitta, then that will allow us to achieve complete Buddhahood. Because arahats, they also realize emptiness of the self, emptiness of the the general phenomena. Realize, but because the lack of the bodhicitta, they cannot become Buddha. They only achieved arahats. As well, the particular Buddha, they are free from samsara, but they are not Buddhahood because of the absence of the bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is the central beam, highway towards the enlightenment. So we must pay attention about the importance of bodhicitta. Every day, every moment. It's not something Buddhism. It's not just a Buddhist culture or religion. It's the method. It's the cause, reality cause to free from suffering, to dispel the confusion. We are confused in the reality nature. We always create something artificial. We fabricate, then we impute it, self, this, that, and we are so entangled within that state. So here, bodhicitta gives you complete method how to free from all this entanglement, the confusion, and to reveal yourself, who really you are. It transcends all the differences. It shows the complete path. Mind itself. Everybody have the mind, and the nature of the mind is no difference. Buddha's mind, even this most small insect's mind, as mind itself. The mind, its nature itself has no difference. It makes difference whether you reveal or not reveal, whether you realize or not realized. When you realize, then we call you Buddha. When you're not realized, we are sentient beings. We're in the samsara. But as a nature itself, intrinsic nature, innate nature itself, there's no difference. Like in the mention, the butter in the milk and butter which is produced as a butter, no difference. But it makes difference. One is produced, you can use as a butter, and one we cannot use as a butter. That's the difference. So here, our Dharma study practice, especially the jewel ornament of liberation, has the complete path. Such a precious book, gives you, it presents you, gives you complete method with a few words, but very rich and complete. So now we start from this action bodhicitta's training. There's two in that. There's one in a general, and other second is detail. So we are now studying the detail. There are 6 perfections, as you see. Now, chapter 12. Six subjects describes the details of action bodhicitta. So now the summary. This summary, from the first to the fifth, they are same kind of name. Of course, different subject, Now here I'll read the summary. Reflection on the faults and virtues. Definition, classification or division, characteristics of each classification, increase, perfection, and result. These seven comprise the perfection of generosity, the practice of generosity. Of course, now you see, we don't have time to go all this detail step by step, but I will explain you some general idea of this by reading the subtitles. First, reflection on the faults and the virtues. Here, virtue means good qualities. Virtue, good qualities. And those who have not practiced generosity will always suffer from poverty and usually will be reborn as a hungry ghost or hungry spirit, even reborn as a human and so forth. They will suffer from poverty and a lack of necessities. The condensed perfection of wisdom sutra says the misery will be born in the hungry spirit, hungry ghost. In case they are born human, at that time they will suffer from poverty. The discourse on discipline says the hungry spirit or hungry ghost reply to Nawa Jawari. Nawa Jawari is a person who happened to be in the hungry ghost area land. And he asks, who are you? Why you are born here? By the power of the stinginess, we did not practice any generosity, so we are here in the world of hungry spirit, hungry ghost. So they reply that. So these are basically, it's easy to understand, Without the practice of generosity, we cannot benefit others, and so we cannot achieve enlightenment. It is said, without the practice of generosity, one will know wealth. So without wealth, one cannot gather sentient beings, to say nothing of achieving enlightenment. So these are the disadvantage due to lack of the practice of generosity. Then on the other hand, one who practices generosity will have happiness through wealth in all his or her different lifetimes. The condensed profession of wisdom sutra says, generosity of bodhisattva cuts off rebirth as a hungry ghost or hungry spirit. Likewise, poverty and all the afflicting emotions are cut off. By acting well, one will achieve infinite wealth well in the Bodhisattva's life. Also, the letter to friend by Nagarjuna. One should practice generosity properly. There's no better relative than generosity. So there is no better relative than generosity. So if you have enough practice of generosity, so you don't need any other relatives. because that your practice of generosity that will bring all the good conditions, will support you. Engaging in the middle way says, this is Chandragiti. These beings desire happiness, and all human beings who are without wealth have no happiness. Knowing that wealth comes from generosity, Buddha spoke first of the practice of generosity. See, Buddha spoke about the business, how to do your business, So if you want to become rich, practice the generosity, and that's your business, you see. Life after life, not only this life, See, that's the long, very long, long range, how to practice the generosity, see. Very important, Nowadays, the very expert business people, they come together, they discuss how to do a good business for long range, for future, to have a very successful business. So now Buddha made this, you see, you can practice generosity, and that's the best practice of your business for this life, for next life, and not only for yourself, for others, because you share. Generosity practice means you share the others, what you have. Again, one who practices generosity can benefit others with them. Generosity, one can gather trainees. Trainees means practitioners, those who need the wealth, and then establish them in the precious Dharma. It is said, by the practice of generosity, one can fully mature sentient beings who are suffering, lack of food, lack of clothes, shelter, of this, Again, it is easier for one who has practiced generosity to achieve unsurpassable enlightenment. This means you release all this closed mind. You just open your heart like a space, and your mind becomes spacious. And there's a bodhicitta. When there's bodhicitta, there's realization of the emptiness. From this, then one can achieve Buddhahood very easily. In the Bodhisattva basket says, for those who practice generosity, achievement of enlightenment is not difficult. The Cloud of Noble Jewel Sutra says, generosity is the enlightenment of the Bodhisattva. Householder Dakshulchen requested Sutra alternatively explain the virtue of generosity and the faults of not giving. A thing means a wealth. A wealth, a thing which is given is yours. Things that in the house are not. If you kept in the house is not. A thing which is given has essence. The things left in the house have no essence. A thing which has been given need not be protected. Things kept in the house must be protected. A thing which is given is free from fear. If you don't have wealth, there's nothing to fear. Things kept in the house are with fear. A thing which is given is closer to enlightenment. Things left in the house go in the direction of the Maras. The practice of generosity will lead to vast wealth. Things left in the house do not bring much wealth. The thing which is given will bring inexhaustible wealth. This is like if you kept your money in the bank, then interest, no, you earn interest every week, every month, every year. If you don't put your money in the bank, there's no interest. So this giving things to others is like putting your wealth in the bank. So interest will rise. Things kept in the house are exhaustible, and so forth. Okay. Now next definition. The definition of generosity is the practice of giving fully without attachment. The Bodhisattva Bhumi says, a mind co-emergent with non-attachment, with that motivation, fully giving things. Basically what it's saying is, you give joyfully, happily. So it's a practice of giving, practice of generosity. It's a joyous practice. This given example, like you see in a house, a mother, very kind mother. She has 4 or 5 children. And then she cooks very delicious food for them. And then when all the children come together, and then she shares the food to all her children. And she feels so joyful looking at them, She doesn't have any expectation. She just gives them all that full of joy. And when the children are smiling, they are very harmonious, smiling and enjoying the hard cook. Then she's so happy. So like that, it's the practice of generosity. You give joyfully, joyous practice. So that's the practice of generosity. Bodhisattvas, you see, Bodhisattvas, all the sentient beings are hard. They are hard children. When Bodhisattvas have anything to share, always happy. The Bodhisattva practices it so joyfully, without expectation. Means no expecting any reward, fully giving, totally. So if I give this, what will come back to me? No any expectation that. Maybe I become rich, no expectation that. Just simply give and feel so happy with enlightenment, with enlightened mind. And also, by this gift, by this practice, may everybody free from samsara. May everybody attain to enlightenment. So this is the mind training, you see. It's called mind training. We train the mind this way. Doesn't matter how much you have. If you have nothing, don't worry about it. But your mind is totally free. But whatever you have, you just give. If you don't have, don't worry about it. Like you remember when Bodhisattvas taking Bodhisattva's vow from a teacher, those Bodhisattvas who have, they offered like hundreds of thousands of temple to the teacher. Those who don't have, they just join the hand and repeat the ceremony and take the Bodhisattva's vow. You see, you don't have to give. There's plenty of things to give. Not only that, if you don't have, your mind is totally free. Completely free. So that's the practice of the bodhicitta. We have to know how to practice bodhicitta. See. Now here we have this next number 3, classification or division. Generosity has 3 division or classification. A, giving wealth. B, giving fearlessness. And C, giving dharma. The practice of giving wealth will stabilize others' body, means who are hungry, who are thirsty. You give food, clothes, drink. It stabilizes the body. And giving fearlessness will stabilize others' life, means those who are in danger of their life, like by robbers, by militaries. They are now going to kill. If you protect their life, so stabilizes their life. And giving dharma stabilize others' minds. Now this is very important, The mind with the samsara confused, bewildered within the confusion. And then we just, through that mental affliction, we create karma, negative karma, constantly, and we're just a subject of suffering. Without knowing, we just suffer because of that cause we have created. So Dharma teaching gives you the wisdom. As earlier I mentioned, Buddha said, you should know the suffering and you should know the cause of suffering. So these, when you know this, then you see, oh, I understand what's the cause of suffering. I better not create any more cause of suffering for my own benefit. It's not a Buddhist belief, it's reality. Anybody, rich or poor, high or low, educated or uneducated, doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate in the causality. Anyone who creates the karma, the cause of suffering, that person is the subject of suffering. So therefore, there's no compassion. The compassion, look at the cause of the suffering and develop compassion. See, so like this. See, so if we give Dharma teachings like this, what a precious. Everybody requires this, but many people don't. They have no interest in this. They feel it's boring because they don't understand. Our ignorance is so deep. Our ignorance is very intense, so difficult to get rid of that. But Dharma teaching is that, So that way, this life, next life, then then we totally free from samsara and achieve enlightenment. See, stabilize others' mind. Furthermore, the first 2, generosity practice, establish others' happiness in this life. Giving Dharma establishes others' happiness hereafter. This life, next life, as mentioned, until one becomes the Buddha. So you see, so look at these 3, just by this division, how precious this is, you see. Look at this, and we practice the Dharma. We practice the bodhicitta, train our mind. Okay. Our characteristic or definition of the each classification. Number 4, giving wealth. 2 types describe the practice of giving wealth: impure giving and pure giving. So these are also very important. What should be given, what should not be given. So now they're coming step by step. You see, the first should be avoided and the second should be practiced. Impure giving. See. Furthermore, there are 4 subtopics under impure giving. See, impure motivation. So with the wrong mind. So now we can. So you can read this. No, I don't have to read, but you read this, you'll get very easily. But basically, impure is like to kill others, to persecute others. You give some offerings, giving. I'll pay you something. Can you get rid of that person? So these things impure. Then also impure giving. Even we're practicing dharma or giving some wealth, thinking maybe next life I'll be very poor. So to free from that, I give this. I practice generosity for others. There's also a very small mind. We give things to achieve complete enlightenment, to achieve Buddhahood, for all the sentient beings' benefit. So we should be mind free from the impure motivation. And then impure materials, giving weapons, poisons, fires, to which can harm others' life. But if those helps the poison, then you have to give. Like if the snake bites, and if you give the poison, the poison counteracts this snake poison, and that person free from this that suffering. Okay. Impure recipients. Impure recipient means the mind is not stabilized. Confused mind, crazy mind, or greed. Some are very greedy. How much you give, they are not satisfied. So these are you have to have a skill how to relate to these. There are some people they eat so much, and if you give, they just keep eating, and then at the end they get sick. So don't give too much to those individuals. Impure method, looking down to those beggars, which harsh words. No, it is we give with respect. So these are 4 things you can read, so step by step. So I don't have to read them. So these are not so difficult. Now please see page 187, pure giving. There are 3 subtopic under pure giving. Pure material, which belongs to you. Great, highly accomplished bodhisattvas who totally realize the emptiness. Everything is nothing but illusory nature. They realize, like an echo, like a magic show, like a mirage. To those bodhisattvas, they can also give their body, their head, their hands. But we, as a beginner, we cannot do that. We just practice compassion, say prayers. May I realize such a state that I can give these things. And the other materials, whatever the others need, whatever you have, food, clothes, shelter, share, these things, materials. And pure recipients, pure recipients. They are, Buddhas, Dharma, Sangha, great masters. Those are the object that we make offerings, practice generosity. And then to our parents, brothers, sisters, who are kind to us, our friends, families, give practice of generosity. Then there are poor people who have nothing, who are sick, those who are destitute, who have no protectors. So those are also you can practice the generosity. And there are some individuals who hate you. That time, first you sit, breathe, relax. Appreciation as a bodhisattva, as a bodhicitta practitioner, appreciation means have been my mother, my friends, my relative. So this person is also have been my relative, my friends. This person is suffering, especially its delusion. Through the delusion, it becomes my enemy. So now that person, through that mental afflictions, create negative karma and cause to reborn in the lower realm. So I'm the one responsible to help that. So cultivate compassion, courage on the base of these reasons, wisdom. It's the training of the mind. This is the training of mind. It's not the how much you give, no, but basically train our mind, so that we can achieve equanimity, the mind, to all the sentient beings. And then, even though you may not have direct contact with that person to help, but in the mind, you just equalize my best friend who is next to me and this person who is my enemy. In reality, there's no difference. So you practice compassion. You train the mind that way. And then through that, you can exercise giving. So this is what called the pure mind, pure method. Then, okay, so this all we can read step by step. You see, if I read first, pure material, the first has two divisions: inside wealth and outside wealth. Inside material are those relate to your body. The Narayana Requested Sutra says you should give your hands to those who desire hands. You should give your legs to those who desire legs. Should give your eyes to those who desire eyes. Should give your flesh to those who desire flesh. Should give your blood to those who desire blood, and so forth. Those bodhisattvas who have not fully stabilized the equality of oneself and others should only give their whole body, not pieces. Says, I can help you to do this. This is giving, I can help you to clean your house. I can help you to do these things, but not make your body pieces, because you have not realized total emptiness. Engaging in the conduct of Bodhisattva says, those who lack the pure intention of compassion. The pure intention of compassion means compassion sealed by emptiness. inseparable of the compassion and emptiness, so that it's called pure intention of compassion. See, should not give their body away. Instead, both in this and future's life, they should give in to the cause of fulfilling the great purpose. So it means right now you do things what you can, but you develop your mind. Just exercise. Everything is illusory nature. Everything is just manifestation. Maybe intellectually right now we may see that, but not practically we cannot see. Still the rock is very solid. Still these things are very solid. But if you practice step by step, you can see. And we're not making them not solid, but their nature itself is illusory nature. So we practice this step by step. So this is the inner. Outside material. Outside materials are food, drink, clothes, conveniences means your like horse, car, bicycle, whatever those, or child, wife, lay bodhisattva who may have a child, give child to those who need, because your child is so precious to you. And to give the child to others looks like very kind of unkind, but it's sacrificed so much because child is so important for you. And you are giving it to others, not because you don't love the child, but you have such a courage to purify your attachment. Giving. Your wife, the man bodhisattvas, or woman bodhisattva, you give your husband. And so forth, according to Dharma practice. So this is according to Dharma practice. You see, he has mentioned Dharma practice, not out of anger, hatred, or resentment, but out of love, out of care. See, the Narayana requested sutra says, these are the outside wealth, grain, outside wealth, grain, silver, gold, jewels, ornaments, horses, elephant, those days, horses, elephant, nowadays, cars, all this, sons, daughters, and so forth. Householder bodhisattvas are permitted to give all the outer and inner wealth. The ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, there is nothing that bodhisattva cannot give to others, body, wealth, and so forth. But there's one exception. The monk or nun bodhisattva should give everything except the 3 Dharma robes, which are not allowed to be given. Engaging in the conduct of bodhisattva says, Bodhicitta Avatara, give all except the 3 Dharma robes. See, if you give your Dharma robes, it may cause your benefit for others to decline. This what means, first of all, Dharma robe is not so useful for others, you see. It made into many pieces, you see. The many pieces, so not so much use. So from that is not so use, no benefit. Secondly, nowadays people don't know. People have no idea. But in reality, the monks or nuns who doesn't have Dharma robes, people have some suspicious. he or she doesn't wear the Dharma robe. Why? So it declines, benefiting others, you see. Who carries the robes well, who wearing the robe nicely, people respect more. So that way it benefits others. See, this is the point. Now, pure recipients. There are four recipients with the special qualities like spiritual masters, triple gem, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and so forth. Recipients who are specially helpful to you, like your father, mother, who loves you, who respects you, who supports you, and so forth. Third, and then so 1, 2, 3, 2. The two recipients who are specially due to their suffering, like those who are patients, who are sick for. There are some people are sick for many months and years, So if you go there, even there's nothing to give, but if you go there to see them, oh, how are you? How you feel? They feel so good. They say, "Thank you so much for coming." And they get such a great joy from that. That's the great gift. And unprotected people there are some people who are so poor. We don't have that in the West so much, but if you go to in some Asian countries, there are some people like that. And so forth. And the fourth is, you see, recipients who are specially because of their harmfulness, like enemies and so forth, as I mentioned earlier. People who hate you. So first you practice, you sit down, take a deep breath, and meditate on this. Loving kindness, compassion. Then slowly you practice the practice of generosity. Yeah. Engaging the conduct of the Bodhisattva says, I work in the field of excellence, benefit, and so forth. Excellence is Buddha Dhamma Sanghas, great spiritual masters, the ordained communities, like those, and your families, and then people who are unprotected, and those enemies, so forth. The same. The pure method of generosity are giving the excellent with excellent motivation and giving with the excellent actions, the excellent motivation, excellent action. The first is practice giving for enlightenment, see, and sentient beings benefit motivated by compassion. See, first, excellent motivation to achieve complete enlightenment. There's no any reward you are expecting. Only may everybody achieve enlightenment. Okay. Regarding giving the excellent action. Okay. Bodhisattva Bhumi says, Bodhisattva exercise giving with devotion, respect by their own hand, in time, and without harming others. So these are now, Gampopa here is explaining briefly about this then. Buddha devotion means that the Bodhisattva should be happy in all the 3 times, mean past, present, future. He is happy before he gives, has a clear mind while giving, and is without regret after giving. Respect means giving respectfully by their own hand means not not ask other to do it. You, the Bodhisattva himself should do it. In 3 times means that that when you have wealth, that is the time to give. Means give without harming others means no harming your entourage. Even though it is your own wealth, if the people around you come with the tears in their eyes when you give something away, then do not do it, because you are helping to others but harming someone else. So that's not so good to know. Should give without harming. That's what mean. Do not give wealth that has been robbed, stolen, or cheated, that which belong to others. You just rob from here and give to others. You cheated from here and giving to others. That's not good. It's not the right way of practice of wealth and the practice of generosity. So see all this without harming. Look at carefully, not harming anybody, and do practice so purely. How precious this is, you see. If you look carefully, step by step, each sentence has such great wisdom. The collection of the Abhidharma says, give repeatedly, give without bias, and fulfill all desires. Give repeatedly means a quality of the benefactor who gives again and again. Give without bias means a quality of the recipients. The benefactor gives to everyone without partiality. Fulfill all desire means a quality of the gift. The benefactor should give whatever the recipients desires. This means when you have whatever the recipients say once, can you give me this? Can you give me that? Can you give me this? What do you have? You just give freely, joyfully, happily. When you don't have it, then say, I don't have it, sorry. No. This complete giving wealth. Now, giving second, this all now look at see giving the wealth. From small to even belonging your life, given freely, with pure mind, without harming others, directly and indirectly. All is done on the base of total wisdom, compassion, and train our mind in that way. See, giving fearlessness means to give protection from the fear of thieves, wild animals like tigers, or disease means those individuals who are sick. If you give medicine, it's giving, protecting that person from that sickness. Some who has a very headache, strong headache, if you give some kind of Tylenol, it feels free, it feels so relief. Rivers, those individuals taken by the river and protect from that, and so forth. The Bodhisattva's Bhumi says, generosity or fearlessness is protecting from things like lions, tigers, crocodiles, kings. Sometimes the king persecutes, also protecting from that, or robbers, thieves, rivers, and so forth. And also, I think like people who are so hungry, no food for days, now that person is also in danger to die. So if you give food to that, it's practice of wealth because you're giving food. And also the person protects from the dying due to hunger. It's also giving fearlessness. See. So you look at this. If you give medicine, it's wealth. But also you are helping that person not to die from that sickness, giving fearlessness. So look at this. Now, yes, if a lion coming to kill, and if you protect that person from the lion, not killing the lion, and then, so that is, you just get rid of the lion, and that is, I think, purely giving fearlessness. So you have to understand about these things. Now giving Dharma, this is here. 4 topics describing the practice of Dharma, giving Dharma. Recipients, motivation, actual Dharma, and the method of showing the Dharma teachings. Recipients, give Dharma to those who want Dharma, those with the respect for Dharma and the Dharma teachers, you see. These recipients who are totally interested to study, practice the Dharma, especially who see samsara is nothing but like the pits of fire. Samsara, the individual who sees the samsara as a vicious cycle of suffering and yearning for Dharma. I want to study, practice Dharma. I want to free from the samsara, attain enlightenment, Buddhahood. So to those are the recipient, then they will study, practice Dharma without any wasting the time. So it's not just, as I mentioned, Buddhist. It's not just a culture. It's not something like a belief system. There are some individuals anywhere who has that kind of individuals. And then if you give Dharma teaching to those, so helpful, they will never waste the time, never waste the energy. They totally dedicated their life to study, practice Dharma. So that's the recipients, you see. The motivation, the teacher who gives the Dharma teaching, and the recipients who receive the Dharma teaching, the two, The teacher who gives the Dharma teaching should give pure motivation out of bodhicitta to help others, to free from samsara, to attain complete enlightenment. Not regard for fame, wealth. If I give this much Dharma teachings, how much offering will I get? How rich I will be? If there's many participants, maybe I'll get so much offerings and I'll become very rich. Then I will build a mansion, and then there I will build a swimming pool. I will enjoy my rest of life there. Not that kind of motivation. Totally, your motivation is to help others, to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. The recipients also, some recipients, they go to some teachers, then I study this, I study, practice this, and later advertise. I receive this teaching, this teaching. I am well off. I have all this. Now I can teach, instead of practice, instead of to free from samsara, and you want to build, mention for this life. So both teacher and recipients has the responsibility of this pure motivation. See, the motivation. The actual Dharma teaching means you should give Dharma teachings what Buddha taught. According to Buddha's teaching, in the Buddhist world, there's no greater than Buddha. See, if somebody says this teaching is even not taught by Buddha, it is something I reveal within in my mind, or I reveal from my teacher, or in the voice in the sky, I heard of this. So this is very special teaching. Even Buddha has not taught. That means there's something wrong with that, All the Buddhas, all the teachings that we study, practice, should be taught by Buddha and follow the Buddha. That's very important. Because sometimes there are some teachings, these are very precious, the Buddha has not taught. As I mentioned, in the Buddhist world, Buddha is who achieved the complete, perfect enlightenment and manifest into the four kayas: Nirmana kaya, Sabha kaya, Dhamma kaya, Swabhavika kaya, embodiment of four bodies. And from that state, Buddha taught all the teachings without reservation. So the Dharma teaching, this is what about. The method is, the actual Dharma. And the fourth, the method of showing Dharma teachings. Okay. Show the Dharma teachings, those who are interested. Not everybody. Not for so much advertisement. Now, this is our Western culture, We have to sell the Dharma, with a lot of advertisement, say, this is how great teacher is, this is how Dharma is profound, the teaching is profound, everybody should come, we have to advertise so much. Sometimes, little is kind of, I don't know what to say. So you have to make the teacher first very important, so the teacher, whatever the Dharma is teaching, is such important teaching, Actually, you see, there are four things. I told you this before. You have to depend on the teaching, not the person. Depend on, you follow the Dharma teaching, not the person. In Tibetan, Dobashe, you rely on, yes, the four reliances. You rely on Dharma, not the person. You rely on the meaning, not the word. See, you rely on the ultimate, not the relative. You rely on the wisdom, not the thoughts. So this is called the four reliances. It's very important. This here, that. So others I have, that's good to read maybe. First, recipients. Give Dharma to those who want Dharma, those who respect the Dharma and Dharma teachers. Number two, motivation. Avoid evil thoughts and maintain the gentle thoughts. Furthermore, avoiding evil thoughts means that you should give Dharma teachings without consideration for wealth, honor, praise, fame, and so forth. Other worldly activities the contents perfection of wisdom sutra says, giving teachings fully to the sentient beings without material concentration. So giving teaching fully is very important. Fully means you have to teach complete, perfectly, without any concentration, without thinking of anything. Kashyapa requested Sutra says, give Dharma teachings with a pure mind without material considerations. Is highly praised by all the victorious one. All the Buddhas are pleased or happy about that. There are individuals who give the Dharma teachings totally to help others. How to free from the confusion. How to motivate to free from samsara and achieve enlightenment. How to help the world. Then Buddhas are happy about that. Maintaining gentle thoughts means showing the Dharma motivated by compassion. The condensed perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, give Dharma to the world in order to eliminate suffering, you see. The suffering itself, especially the cause of suffering. We show the path. So these are the non-virtue, which are the direct cause of suffering. These are the mental afflictions, attachment, aversion, ignorance. These need to be purified in showing this method. And then cultivate bodhicitta, enlightenment, and practice generosity, so forth. So this is the real what's called the pure motivation. Eliminate, there are the way how to eliminate suffering. When there's a suffering, you may cultivate compassion to others, looking at your own suffering. Then actual Dharma, show the Dharma sutras, and so forth, without mistake or pervision, mistake or pervision. Buddha Sutta Bhumi says, in giving the Dharma, the meaning should be shown without mistake. It should be shown logically, which makes sense. Logically. And the disciple should be allowed to practice perfectly the basis of the training, Then also disciples should allow to practice. These are the teachings that Buddha taught. I'm explaining you must practice. You follow the path. This is such a very precious, important, It's not just saying, now you heard this teaching, you liberated by hearing the teachings. Very difficult for us, by hearing the teaching and liberated. Is there anyone who have that? So somebody heard his teaching or her teaching and liberated. Very difficult. We hear the teachings repeatedly, many times, still not liberated. It means we need some practice. So should practice, follow path. So this, as I mentioned, this Gampopa, these teachings, few words, few sentences, so rich in the meaning, so profound in the meaning. See, method of showing Dharma teachings, Dharma teachings. You should not give teachings immediately where someone asks you. No, the King of Meditative Absorption Sutra says, concerning the generosity of giving the Dharma, if someone requests it, first you should respond this way. I have not studied that in detail. You see, now it's totally, you see, opposite. Nowadays you have to advertise. He said, I went to school, I went to retreat, and I studied well, I practiced well. Now I'm well off to give teaching, so please come, I will teach you, you know. Here, if somebody comes, can you teach me? Oh, wonderful, you are so interested, but I'm not so well trained. Or so I'm not so good about this practice. Or say, I studied so good, but it has been some years now. I have forgotten, you know, like this. If you say, then those individuals who are really interested, they will insist, you know, like so just best, best example is like Milarepa, from Western Tibet to Central Tibet, he went to such Marpa. And then Marpa just, as you know, all this training, and Milarepa, without any doubt, even Marpa killed him, said, please, now I need Dharma teachings to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. After going through all this hardship, once Marpa is given all those teachings, then Milarepa has not wasted even 1 second. So that's what is here saying. No. There's some, as I mentioned, the Kunu Rinpoche, now there's life stories now written about him now. You have heard of Kunu Lama Rinpoche. He was his life was very simple. No. If very high Lama comes to see him, first he try to avoid to see that Lama. No. If he sees, then he has short conversation, then say no. If they want some transmission, he gives and then say, please go. So anybody, when we went to see him, requested teachings, oh, I have studied this for some years ago. Now I forgot mostly, I don't remember enough. And sometimes he says, I cannot see so well, say, no, my eyes are not so good. And sometimes he will say, now say, where I talk and where I think is two different child. No? Where I'm thinking and give teachings and my mouth goes to different. He says these things. He discouraged, the individuals who there, so not to waste his time and there also. But once he starts the teachings, of course, his teaching is so perfect, so clear. He has not forgotten, and he can see it, and his explain is so precious, you see, because people pay attention so much on this. Now do we go around here and there and give teachings, talk, give Dharma, talk. And then some say, oh, his talk is good, it's okay. Some say, oh, his talk is it's the same thing as others. There's not so much value, it's there, no? So when there's no value, it's wasting time. So you see, Buddha's teaching is that. That's why in reality, in actual, according to Buddha's teaching, there's no conversion, convert into each other. It's all individuals' interest. Like Gampopa, you see, he was well off all the scholarship in the sutra system. Really, great teacher. He studied all the mathematical system from Nagarjuna. He studied all these asangas, the 5 treatises of Maitreya. Great scholar, great meditator. But still he made journey to Milarepa for a month, carrying his own luggage on his back. And he made the journey and met Milarepa. And then he received by Milarepa, received all the teachings. You see, that's how you see Dharma practitioners, we should do some kind of practice and get the benefit for us. See, and also say, do not relate it immediately, means do not accept it immediately. You should start by examining the vessel. Once you know the vessel well, then you should give teachings even without a request. Then there are some individuals, that person is really good practitioners, very dedicated. To those individuals, without their request, you should give teachings, whatever they need. When one gives a teaching, it should be at a clean and pleasing place that the white lotus of sublime Dharma Sutra says. So this all are not placed in a clean and pleasant place, built a wide, comfortable throne. The teacher should sit on the throne and give teachings. It is said, sit on the supported seat decorated with the various silk. The teacher should give Dharma teachings when clean, well dressed. Neat and with gentle behavior. The Sakaramati requested Sutra. The teacher of the Dharma should be clean, have gentle behavior, and be neat and well dressed. So like this, so then there's a mantra. All these things, you can read those. Then when the Dharma teachings are given, they should be related to the subject at hand and be clear and moderate. This completes teaching, complete giving Dharma teachings. So Dharma teachings should be very clear, precise, not too much, but enough to understand the meaning. And most important is to practice. Now next 2 years, increase and perfection. These two here today I will relate a little more, because if we pay attention to this enough, next four topics will not relate, because it is described here perfectly. So increase the 5, page 191. Even though these 3 generosity may be small, there is a method to increase them. Now, these three practices of generosity, wealth, giving fearlessness, and Dharma teachings. The Bodhisattva basket mentions Shariputra. Now Buddha is saying to Shariputra, the wise Bodhisattva can increase even a small gift, whether it's a wealth, whether it is a fearlessness, whether it's in Dharma teachings, even one verse. He can increase it through the power of primordial wisdom. Yeshe in Tibetan, Yeshe, primordial wisdom, one. Can expand it through the power of the discriminating wisdom. Discriminating wisdom is Soso Yanta Riba. Discriminating wisdom, two. And can make it infinite through the power of dedication. See, through the power of dedication. Just three, please. Now, keep this in your mind. Increase through the primordial wisdom, increase through the discriminating wisdom, increase through the dedication. Okay. First, increasing generosity through the power of primordial wisdom comes from the full realization that is free from the three spheres. Through the primordial wisdom means the practitioner understand the nature of the emptiness. So when you realize the emptiness nature, then you can have this understanding of the free from the three spheres. See, this is the realization that the giver is like an illusion. See, the person who gives bodhisattva, who gives any material things, including his body, seeing as a illusion, seeing as like as I mentioned, as like a dream, like a reflection, illusion, like magic show. The gift is also like an illusion. The gift material itself is also like an illusion, magic show. And the recipient is like an illusion. To whom you are giving, that individual is also like illusory nature. So this called free from the three spheres. So please see. As an illusory nature, now there's no attachment, you see. No attachment at all. The person who gives bodhisattva as illusory nature, there's no involved ego, grasping. So I am the one who's giving. There's no such that kind of grasping ego. And the gift, what you are giving, is not something like, say, this is mine. No. Just giving as an illusory nature, magic show. And they give to the person, the recipient, that person is also just a magic show. Magic show of, like, say, a horse. This individual. So there's no duality. Now this called free from the three spheres. Through that, then all whatever you're given, whether Dharma teachings, whether you see fearlessness, whether wealth, whatever you're given, is now it's called, it will increase. When second, in order one to receive a great amount of merit from the generosity, or receive the great amount of merit, you see, understand that they are increased by the power of wisdom awareness. It's called wisdom, they call discriminating wisdom. Understand that they are increased by the power of wisdom awareness in any kind of generosity practice if first you do it with the intention of giving things in order to establish all sentient beings in the state of the enlightenment. This is the first one. When you give things not to develop pride. Sometimes we advertise, oh, I'm giving this to others to make oneself very famous. Not that idea. Pure motivation to establish all sentient beings into the Buddhahood. Whether big or small. In the middle, without attachment for the gifts, no attachments to the Dharma, no attachments to the gifts of fearlessness, no attachment to the material. And at the end, free from expectation of any result. No expectation. I have given this much, maybe I'll become so famous, or maybe I will become rich. Also, any result. You will receive the great merit of generosity. In this way, the practice of that practice, the practice with generosity will accumulate great merit, virtue, merit. The condensed profession of wisdom sutra says, one should remain without attachment to the gift. Also, one should not expect a result. Therefore, if one gives everything with great skill, these are the skillful methods, there will be infinite virtue, merit, even if one's gift is small. Even gift is small, maybe one fruit, one chocolate chip, one cup of tea, but the merit will be infinite, like the space. So this one. Third, now making generosity infinite. See, through the power of the dedication, it increases infinitely if one dedicates this generosity practice to the unsurpassable enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So if one practices the generosity in of these three, dedicates by the power of this practice, may every sentient beings attain the complete, perfect enlightenment. You just enjoy that. And you're totally into that state. First of all, there's great joy. And then your small practice of the generosity practice becomes infinite. See? The Ashamati Requested Sutra says, oh, no, completely enlightenment. Dedicate not only increase generosity, yes, but also it causes to become inexhaustible. So when you dedicate that way, not only brings the infinite benefits, but it will never exhaust the merit. While you are enjoying will keep bringing up, keep manifesting result. So that you see, the Achamati requested sutra says, Shariputra, for example, a drop of water dropped into the ocean will not be exhausted until the end of the kalpa. So see, just give an example. If you just a drop of water throw in the ocean, until the ocean is exhausted, that drop of the water will not disappear. Likewise, when one dedicates the root of the virtue to enlightenment, it will not be exhausted between now and when one achieves the heart of enlightenment. So your small amount of the virtue you dedicate to the ocean of the enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Until you become Buddha, that virtue will remain, keep producing the benefit. So this is called skillful method. See, Bodhisattva has a great skillful method. This is what it means, you see. So this is the way, increase the virtue. So please reflect on this well. Through the premodal wisdom, through the wisdom awareness or discriminative wisdom, and through the dedication. See, through these three, then the virtue, the practice of the generosity will increase infinite. So you see, in the practice of the generosity, you see, it contains all there. Just in other dimension, generosity of the generosity, the moral ethics of generosity, the patience of the generosity, and the perseverance of generosity, meditative concentration of generosity, discriminating awareness of generosity. There are 6, multiplied into 36. You remember that in the generosity practice, all are there. Whatever you're giving is the practice of generosity. Then, with the pure motivation, is the morality. And then you see, you're practicing this joyfully, is perseverance. And you are practicing this generosity without any your thoughts moving around. Your mind is unmovable. Such a great calm, peaceful mind, meditative concentration. You are practicing this all generosity practice through the wisdom, seeing as illusory nature. Just a manifestation, just a reflection. There's nothing to hold on, grasping. Just let go. It's wisdom. So because of this practice, this way how one can attain Buddhahood, you see. This is the way how to purify all our mental afflictions. It helps to uproots our self-grasping. It uproots, you see, our attachments, anger, pride, jealousy. So through this practice of generosity, you see, you have all this method. A simple practice, but it's way how to do it through the wisdom within your mind, not somewhere else in your room. As I mentioned, the mother, when she cooks the meal to her children, she's so happy to give to her children. When the children are enjoying, and she enjoys so much, she feels so happy. She doesn't have any expectation. She's totally enjoy when the children are happy. So we Bodhisattva Dharma practitioners practice this. So it's a joyous method. Practice it joyfully, happily. That's what Dharma practice is about. Now, number 6, perfection. Concerning the perfect purification of generosity. So, how to achieve the perfection of the practice of generosity? The collection of transcendent instruction says, if one acts with the emptiness and the essence of the compassion, all the merit will be purified. You see, here, emptiness with the compassion is mentioned. Now, here, compassion relate to the bodhicitta, not just compassion. Emptiness is ultimate bodhicitta, and compassion is relative bodhicitta. So that practice of the compassion relative bodhicitta with the ultimate bodhicitta of emptiness that purifies all the obscurations. When these generosity practices are supported by emptiness, supported by the emptiness, they will not become a cause of samsara. See, samsara is as you know, samsara is a product of our delusion, mental afflictions, in the absence of the emptiness, wisdom. Here, emptiness, not just empty, the wisdom of emptiness. When they are supported by compassion, they will not become a cause of the lesser vehicle. You see, when you have emptiness, understanding, practice will help, that will become cause to free from samsara. When you practice with the bodhicitta, bodhicitta is the root cause of bodhicitta is compassion, When you have that, then we don't go to the lesser vehicle, Sharvakas or the Buddhas, rather to Bodhisattva, Buddhahood. Okay. They will not become a cause of lesser vehicle. They will become a cause only for the achievement of non-abiding nirvana. So, non-abiding nirvana, as I mentioned before, neither samsara nor partial nirvana. Therefore, they are pure. So that's why it becomes pure. And Bodhisattva who practice the emptiness, all the practices becomes pure. They become direct cause for the enlightenment, Buddhahood. Supported by emptiness means, according to the Ranakuta requested Sutra, Ratna Kuta, yes, that the practice of generosity should be stamped by the full seal of emptiness. It is said this way here. One should practice generosity with 4 seals. What are these 4? One should be sealed by the pervading emptiness of inner body. Bodhisattva giving anything, Dharma teachings, or wealth, or fearlessness. So my inner body nature is emptiness. That you know in the Heart Sutra, the form is emptiness, and emptiness is the form. Form is no other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than form. You see, so the body emptiness. See, sealed by the emptiness of the outer wealth. So the wealth you are given here in the place of wealth, as I mentioned, Dharma teachings, fearlessness, whatever you're giving, that itself also emptiness. You can say Dharma is emptiness, emptiness is the Dharma, like this. Emptiness is sealed by the emptiness of the outer wealth. Yes, wealth. The third, sealed by the emptiness of the subjective mind. So I give Nama teachings. I give wealth. That mind itself is also emptiness. You see, where's the mind? If you look, you don't find it. Same as you don't find the form. So emptiness of the mind. See? And sealed by the emptiness of the Dharma of enlightenment. Enlightenment is also emptiness. Buddhahood is also emptiness. See? Everything functions within the emptiness. That's why I should know the form, the Nirmanakaya is not the Buddha. The Sambhogakaya is not the Buddha. Buddha is Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya means emptiness. The total perfection of the mind is Dhammakaya. That's the emptiness. So these four emptiness. See, one should practice seal with these four. If we practice generosity here, any of those, with the support of these four methods, then all our practice will be pure. Pure means no any mental afflictions, no mental delusions, no samsaric activities, totally pure as it is. Here pure means uncontrived, unfabricated as it is. That will become the cause to attain Buddhahood. See? So generosity supported by compassion means giving because you cannot bear the suffering of sentient beings, individually or in general. So give these practices, whether wealth, fearlessness, Dharma teachings, with compassion. So look at the suffering of sentient beings so much, If you really go through the suffering of the individuals, it's immense. So much. You cannot bear their suffering, but no choice. No. Like in the dream, if you're taken away by the flood, how much there is no sufferings there. Fear, all these things, but you have no choice. The flood is taking you. You try your best, but very difficult. So in the samsara, we are carrying by the flood of all mental delusions, mental afflictions, and we don't aware of this. We don't realize this. We just keep repeating the same mistake again and again, again and again. Just same repeating, So look at the suffering of the sentient beings. So vicious, so subtle, so sensitive. Within it, the illusory nature, that nature itself does not exist. Within in the non-existence, all the sufferings exist. Look at the suffering of the sentient beings, samsara. So this is the wisdom of the Buddha, wisdom of the Dharma. The Dharma allows you to see the nature of the samsara. As I mentioned, this is not just a religion. This is not just a culture. It's not just a belief system. It's how everything functions in a way, not all the sufferings of the samsara. That's why we're practicing. We're starting and practicing the Dharma teachings. Not as a culture, not as a religion, but look at this, look at ourselves, look at the sentient beings in the samsara. This is the Dharma study practice. This you can say Buddhism, Buddha's teaching. Not some rituals, and there's there's so many rituals there are. Wonderful. When you know these well, and those rituals are so good. But without knowing Dharma enough, the rituals are just ritual. We have high expectation, the ritual will do something. So this is now up to topic 6, all the practices of the generosity. So now, as mentioned, within in the generosity, all the practices are there, all the 6 parameters are there, we should understand. The generosity is itself. Then there is a practice of moral ethics, how to do practices, with the pure motivation, so forth. And patience, with practice repeatedly, and practice joyfully, perseverance, and with pure mind, calm abiding mind, with the wisdom mind, all the 6 parameters are here, it contains. So please understand that. And then this will help us rest of the other our parameters. Enough. Now here, the 7th result. One should understand the result of generosity in the ultimate and the conventional state. The ultimate result is that one achieves unsurpassable enlightenment. The Bodhisattva Bhumi says, thus all the Bodhisattvas who fully perfect the practice of generosity will achieve unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment. Here, as I mentioned, we have to understand all the 6 parameters are within in this practice of generosity. With this, how we know how to practice this complete way, then that becomes the cause to attain Buddhahood. So please have this kind of wisdom. We should have such a comprehensive wisdom how to comprehend the practice of the bodhicitta. The practice of bodhicitta relate to the practice of generosity. See, this is the ultimate. In the conventional state, one will gain prosperity through the practice of giving wealth. Even if one does not wish it, a bodhisattva who doesn't expect any result, the practice of the giving wealth, but still, because the practice of giving, the result will manifest by itself. This is like you see when you plant a corn in the field. You plant a corn in the field. Your expectation is to get the corn. But on the way, all the leaves, everything comes up. Or you just say like a apple tree. You are just looking for apple. I'm planting this apple tree to grow a good apple. But on the way, all the branches, leaves, beautiful flowers, all will come out, Well, then the fruit is coming. So like this, even you are not expected, that will happen, Furthermore, one gathers training through the generosity and connect them with the enlightenment. The Duja trainees in Tibetan, in Duja, that whom need to be trained, the practitioner. So there are some practitioners who doesn't have food to eat, place to live. If you provide, food to eat, place to live, and that person can come, stay there, use your practice of generosity while practicing the Dharma. The condensed perfection of Wisdom Sutra says the generosity of Bodhisattva cuts off rebirth as the hungry ghost, hungry spirit. Likewise, poverty and all afflicting emotions are cut off. By acting well, one will achieve infinite wealth. Well, in the Bodhisattva's life, well, you're on the way to Bodhisattva life. Because you are practice of generosity, you always there's plenty things for you. No need to worry anything. Oh, just enough. And fully matured all the suffering sentient beings through the practice of generosity. Then Bodhisattva Bhumi says, Asanga, one will become strong by giving food. If you give food, make their individual's body healthy, that results you'll get a bad strength. One will achieve good complexion by giving clothes. One will become stable by giving convenience. One will have good eyesight by giving lamp candle light, By giving fearlessness, one will be unassailable by obstacles and maras. The obstacles cannot prevent you. The maras cannot obstacle for your Dharma practice or your mind, The precious jewel Galint Nagarjuna says, by giving fearlessness to those who are in fear, one will be unassailable by all the maras and will become supremely powerful. When there anybody who is a fear, and you protect from the fear, give the life, and then you will achieve that kind of ability. When Buddha was on Bodhigaya, hundreds and thousands of Mara manifested to create obstacle to Buddha to attain Buddhahood. So Buddha has no fear. And because of without fear, Buddha's meditation was complete, powerful, perfect, and attained Buddhahood. Likewise, if you read Milarepa's life story, you'll see when so many Maras, they came around Milarepa, throwing rocks, all this, Milarepa says, go ahead. If you're strong enough, you may take my life, but you cannot throw me in the hell realm. See how fearless Milarepa was, how confident Milarepa was. So the Maras become powerless. See this, you see. By giving Dharma teachings, one will meet the Buddha swiftly. See, you are giving wisdom to the practitioners. You are giving wisdom people who are confused. You are giving the eye of the wisdom to see things precisely, the nature of the samsara. So that you have caused other to free from suffering, other to free from confusion, and other to achieve enlightenment. That is your cause why you can see the Buddha. See, when you say see Buddha means not necessarily you can see the Buddha Nirvana Kaya, Sabokaya, but you will see the wisdom of Buddha. You see the right things, what is right, what is wrong. Because Buddha is within you. When your confusion is removed, that's the Buddha. Or when you see your confusion is nothing but empty, that's the Buddha. See. So you're showing that to others and you get it. So that's why you see the Buddha. See. Buddha swiftly will accompany him. Then that Buddha will accompany you on the way for your Dharma study, practice step by step. And achieve all that one desired, can benefit. One can get benefit of both samsara and nirvana. The precious jewel garland, Nagarjuna says, giving Dharma teaching to those who listen. So those who listens. So can you give us these teachings, please, then you share that. Causes obscurations to be dispelled, you see. Because of that, and one will accompany all the Buddhas are there. One will quickly achieve all that one desire. Then one will achieve all that one desire for, including the enlightenment, Buddhahood. So this is Dharma teachings. So anyhow, the practice of generosity is this now. Have you got some benefit from this?
Thank you, Rinpoche.
So now please, you see, first you see, please breathe in all the joys of the Buddha, the unafflicted joy of the Buddha. Breathe in and permeate in your whole body and being, mind. And once more, please inhale fully all the wisdoms of the Buddha within you. And exhale all the delusions. And once more, please inhale fully all this wisdom that we spoke about, the 3 different types of practice of generosities. And rejoice. And please feel fortunate I'm so fortunate having this precious human life. I have this opportunity to study, practice the Dharma. And then we dedicate all this what we have practiced. May every sentient beings have the same opportunity as we have. And they follow the path. And eventually they attain the Buddhahood, enlightenment. So I'll be so happy. I'm so fortunate. This is what Dharma practice is about. No? You see, when first day Marpa accepted Milarepa as his student and started giving Dharma teachings, and whole Milarepa state was totally joy, nothing but joy. You know? He said, from that day, my life for the enlightenment, the joy was started. So this is what Buddha's teaching is about. This is what's called Dharma teachings, you know. It's not just some chanting mantras, this and that, you know. It's complete, you see, complete while we're living now. It will be complete at the time of death. You live with the bodhicitta. You die with the bodhicitta. You attain Buddhahood with the bodhicitta. See, you perfected bodhicitta when you become Buddha. So you practice generosity with bodhicitta, and then next follow the same way, you know. Now with this, Anila, can you say some dedication prayers? Or
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay, thank you.
Short, long life prayer for Rinpoche, you who are richly endowed with glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting, meditating, have actualized the self-aware absolute reality and shine with 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma.
Of the Buddha Dharma.
May you Kenshin
May you
Ratna
Kenshin
Zohar
Ratna Zohar live long.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, within lineage lamas, divine assemblies of yirams, and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogins, yoginis, and dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by the wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the luminosity of mind as such and pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this life, at the time of death, or in the bardo. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. May the teachings of the great Drikungpa Ratnashiri, omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Rinpoche, thank you so much. It was another amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you,
Cảm
Rinpoche.
ơn Rinpoche, cảm ơn
Thank
ban tổ
you.
chức, cảm ơn cô Thanh Dịch, cảm ơn cả nhà.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Oh, still.
Muchas gracias, Rinpoche.
Muchas
Muito-
gracias.
Muito obrigada.
Yes.
Gracias, Rinpoche. Tachidele.
Yeah, see you hasta mañana.
Hasta
Até
mañana.
amanhã.
Yes.
Até amanhã.
Blessing for you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.